Like I could have sat there and said, hey, you should just shut it down right now. Like, and don't worry about it because you got things going on outside of work, and everything that you're doing here and everything that you've built here and the brand that you've built and the performance that you've obtained and all the things you've been working for, throw it out the window because you got something going on outside. What's up, everybody? Look, it's time for another Average Mindset Monday. Listen, we are ending the year. We are finishing up 2022. But I just have one word for you today. And I want you to understand that too much empathy can ruin other people. Like, and I'm pretty sure you're listening to me and you're like, well, Corey, that goes against everything you say, because you say we should be attentive to ourselves. We should be attentive to other people. We should, care for people. We should do things for other people. Like the biggest thing you preach is becoming someone that other people can count on. But this is what I'm saying. You can't be counted on if you let everybody tug at your heartstrings. Like, you can't be counted on if, oh, woe is me happens, and then you're like, they're there every single time. They're there. You can't take care of people if every single time something goes wrong, you're like, oh, let's stop what we're doing and then let's take forever to get back on track. Like, you can't take care of people if you're not saving them from the emotions and the feelings that they have for themselves. When you realize that they have a dream, a vision, a goal, whatever that may be, and then you don't put them back on track. See, and I'm gonna tell y'all a story real quick, because I had an individual, and I was just letting somebody know this because I had to teach them this lesson. I let them know that I was sitting down in a room with an individual one day, right? And I remember she's crying her eyes out. And I actually pulled away from my desk and I was like, hey, we got to go into this room. And we got to talk about what's going on. You got to get the crying out. We look, I got you. Don't worry about it, right? And so she sits down and finally stops crying for a second. I was like, so what happened to me? Talk to me. She's like, man, I just found out my mom has cancer. And I was like, ooh, okay. I was like, well, talk to me. I was like, what's going through your head right now? What's happening? Like, I know it's something big for you. And she says, the worst part is that she doesn't have health insurance. And I'm like, okay, blow number 2. All right. I get why you're upset. I get why you're sad, because you could tell the frustration in the person. And then she says, the worst part about it is, this is something that I can't control. She was like, you always preach to us about control what you can control, and it's something that I can't control. But in the midst of this, we dropped the ball on something that we could control. She doesn't have life insurance. And I was like, okay, well, let me ask you this. Are there things that you can do to get these things in place? She was like, yeah. I believe there's a few places that I can contact that we can maybe inquire about getting some life insurance in place, getting some health insurance in place, even though she's very high risk at this point. Maybe we get turned down a few different places. And I said, cool, we start with that. Now I said, does this stop you from your goals? And she was like, no, I need to get promoted. I need to make more money. There's goals, there's dreams, there's things that I need to do. I need that extra income. My car's not really working the way I need it to work right now. There are things that I need to accomplish for myself, and I can't let this hold me back. And I was like, oh, okay, she's been listening. But see, in that moment, I could have been like, woe is me. And I'm not saying I didn't feel for her, but I could have been like, woe is me. She could have come in for the next 2 months and said, man, I can't give you what you want. I can't give you the production. I can't give you the numbers. I can't give you the performance that I can get to the next level. I can't give you these things because I have things going on outside. Like, I could have sat there and said, hey, you should just shut it down right now. Like, and don't worry about it because you got things going on outside of work, and everything that you're doing here and everything that you've built here and the brand that you've built and the performance that you've obtained and all the things you've been working for, throw it out the window because you got something going on outside. See, I'm not telling y'all don't pay attention to somebody, don't care for somebody when they're going through something. What I'm saying is care for them a little bit more to keep them on track. Care for them a little bit more that you're going to say, hey, I know you said these are the things you wanted to do. I'm going to keep you on that track. Care for them a little bit more because you can see the vision that they had, because you can see the goals that they need to achieve, and you can see how detrimental shutting down in a particular instance may be. Like care for them just a little bit more. Like you got to save them from what's going on in their life. And see, that's what I want to bring y'all today. See, sometimes too much empathy can ruin somebody. Too much empathy can put them down a path. And like I'm looking at individuals that are homeless. I'm looking at people who are living under bridges. I'm talking to, women that are in domestic violence situations. And they're even saying myself, you know what? I ended up here like for a reason. I ended up here because I didn't take steps. I ended up here because I said, woe is me. I ended up here, and look, before y'all get on me, I'm not saying that it's hard to get up out of these situations. So don't come on here and try to take me out for that. I know you internet people are gonna try to get me. But what I'm saying is the people themselves are admitting, hey, I shouldn't have gone down that path. I should have addressed it up front. I should not have said, woe is me for too long and allowed life to happen to me. See, that's my goal for you today. I just want you to understand that too much empathy can ruin people. Too much empathy can take you off your goals. Too much empathy can take people off the track of what they're trying to do. See, that's been your Average Mindset Monday. Y'all go out and get it. And remember, I say this because the number one goal that you should have in life is to be someone that other people can count on. Do me a favor, don't allow empathy, don't allow the heartstrings, don't allow the tugging of your emotions to take you down a path where you can't hold someone up to the standard that you know they can perform at. I get it. We all have things that are going on in our life. Be there for people, care for people. And part of that care is understanding that I'll keep you on the track that you said you wanted.